You aren't stressed because of your job. You're stressed because you are focused on the cup, not the coffee. Welcome to Vivid English Avenue. By the end of this journey, you will master 3 essential idioms for describing stress and learn how to use the past continuous naturally. More importantly, you will discover a secret that will change how you handle even your busiest days. Let's begin. A few years ago, a group of successful graduates decided to visit their old university professor. It was a quiet evening. The sun was setting behind the trees as they were driving toward his house. They were talking about their lives, but something was wrong. Even though they were successful, they were not happy. When they arrived, the professor was waiting for them with a kind smile and welcomed them into his home. As they sat down, the conversation quickly turned to work. One graduate sighed and said, "Professor, I am always snowed under. I have so many emails that I can't breathe." Another added, "I feel like I'm reaching a breaking point. Life has become a constant race." The professor listened quietly. Then he went to the kitchen and brewed a large, delicious-smelling pot of coffee. He brought out a tray of cups. Some were made of expensive porcelain, while others were cheap plastic. He said, "Please help yourselves." Immediately, the friends scrambled for the beautiful cups. The cheap ones were left untouched. The professor smiled and said, "Do you see, you all reached for the expensive cups first. But the cup doesn't make the coffee taste better. In fact, it often just hides what we are drinking. What you really wanted was coffee, not the cup." Life is the coffee. Your job, your money, and your status are just the cups. They are tools to hold life, but they do not define its quality. If you focus only on the cup, you forget to enjoy the coffee. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They simply make the best of everything they have. The graduates sat in silence. They realized they had been chasing the wrong things. For them, this wisdom was the icing on the cake. But the professor didn't stop there. He looked at their tired faces and shared one final truth. To be powerful, he said, you must stop letting the cup define you. When you are snowed under, don't just work harder and faster. Stop, breathe. Remind yourself that you are the one drinking the coffee. You are the master of your life, not the servant of your schedule. Now I want to share something from my own heart. Does this mean we should stop working or give up on our goals? Absolutely not. We still need to brew the coffee. We still need to study, work hard, and provide for our families. But here is the secret. I've realized that most people are stressed because they are working for the cup. They work only for a fancy title, more money, or to show off to others. This is why they reach a breaking point. I believe true power comes when you work for the coffee instead. Work because you want to grow. Work because you want to help your family. Work because you enjoy the process of learning. When you focus on the coffee, you actually work better, stay calmer, and become unbreakable. You don't just survive your day, you master it. The professor's lesson changed how those students saw their lives. But did you notice the specific English phrases they used to describe their feelings? Let's look at those idioms again so you can use them to talk about your own life and work. Remember when the first student spoke? He said he was snowed under. This is a heavy image. In English, We use this when our work feels like a mountain of snow that we cannot climb over. It's a perfect way for you to sound more like a native speaker when describing a busy schedule. For example, I would love to join you for dinner, but I'm completely snowed under with reports at the office right now. Then they spoke about reaching a breaking point. This is that dangerous moment when pressure is too high, and like a branch in a storm, you feel ready to snap. For example, after working every weekend for 2 months, he finally reached his breaking point and told his boss he needed to take some time off. Finally, when the students understood the lesson, we used the phrase, the icing on the cake. Think of the cake as your life. It is already good. But the professor's wisdom was that extra sweet layer on top that made everything perfect. For example, I was so happy to see my family after my trip, and the beautiful weather was just the icing on the cake. To help you feel the movement of this story, did you notice how we used the past continuous? When I said the sun was setting or they were talking, I was painting a picture of a continuous moment in time. Using was or were with an ing verb is the secret to making your stories feel alive. It transforms your English from a simple list of facts into a vivid, moving scene. Are you chasing the cup today or enjoying the coffee? Tell me in the comments, what is the icing on the cake in your life right now? Write your answer in a full sentence, and I will personally check your grammar to help you improve. Sleep well, enjoy your coffee, and I'll see you in the next street of Vivid English Avenue. Goodbye.